Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician, and today we're going to be going into the Amazon website. So normally when we do these videos on my channel, it is specifically tool deals, but with Christmas coming up here very soon, I figured I'd put together a list of items for last minute holiday gift ideas. Now these are going to range anywhere from about $15 up to about $120, except for one item being in the 200s. These are in no specific order. Some tools, some home appliances, some knickknacks and things like that. And I really hope you guys enjoy. So first up, we were looking at the Ninja Smokeless Indoor Grill and Griddle. So I was really interested in this because we just did a kitchen remodel. I have a grill out back, but in the wintertime, I'm sorry, I'm just not in the mood to stand out there in the snow and grill. Now granted, this isn't like your traditional grill. It's not a gas and it's not charcoal and it's not a wood pellet, but it is a smokeless indoor grill. It mimics a grill with your grill lines and stuff. So no, it's not the same thing as grilling, but you can still cook some pretty good meals on this thing, and it keeps the smoke down compared to doing similar items on like your stove top and things like that. So it is still really nice. It's at $100 down from $140, has 4.5 stars, got 161 ratings, and quite a bit of people really enjoy this. It's got a nice even cooking surface. You got the both styles. You got the grill plate to give you those grill lines, and then you also got a griddle for pancakes, bacon, things like that, breakfast, hash browns, all that good stuff. So definitely a good unit, and this is just the one that I decided on, but there are many other types of smokeless indoor grills. So that is the first item on the list at $100, down from $140. Next up is an aluminum stop collar set. This is for drill bits. So if you're drilling through things and you're afraid of drilling into another surface or into electrical components behind a surface, or other pipes or lines depending on what you're working in, these can help you. Now there are different styles and variations and sizes available. This is just one that I'm about to pick up. There are some with really bad reviews. This one seems to have the most positive reviews, so this is the one that I'm looking at picking up. Now there are other ways. If you don't want to spend money like this, you could simply wrap tape around your drill bit where you want it to stop. You can even do larger crimps and crimp it on your drill bit if you want something a little bit more permanent. But I figured this is a good option. They're adjustable, so you can kind of control the depth. They're reusable and seem to have a lot of good reviews. This one's at $18 down from $20. Not a whole lot of savings, but still a nice little set. I'm trying to run through these at a fairly decent pace because we have about 20 items to go over. Unlike my other Amazon videos where we go over just a handful of items, we can spend a little bit more time talking about them. But here, I just want to show you a decent amount of items that I think are pretty neat. This is something that I figured is a good gift idea for a family member or friend that enjoys, having a mixed drink or anything like that, and is into fishing. And I thought this was kind of clever. They have tons of little stirring devices out there, but this one is a Windup outboard mini boat motor, and it says coffee mixer, but also for unique drink mixing. It does have 3.8 stars at 289 ratings, so a little bit lower rating than what we're used to seeing. But once again, this is kind of like one of those, gimmicky style items, but could still be a great little gift. And it does have a little spot there that you can hang on the side of the glass. So at $15, I don't think it's too bad. Next up is an item that I just recently picked up for myself. They have many different sizes and designs and colors and things like that. But I have some Yetis and I have an Owala. I guess it's a TikTok famous bottle brand. I don't know. But I wanted to pick myself up a little bit larger one for work. They, I wouldn't say are a cheap bottle, but they're right in line with, a Yeti or other, higher end quality bottle brand. But this is the one that I went with. I like the lid options that it comes with. I like the design of the bottle and kind of the options that you can select for it. It is stainless steel, and I believe it says it's good for keeping a beverage cold for 24 hours. But here you can just see some of the other designs. I've wanted one of these for quite some time, and I finally talked myself into getting one, and I think they're pretty cool. And this has 4.7 stars at 2,995 ratings. At $40, you will see these go on sale also, so just keep that in mind. This is the 32-ounce bottle. It is not the 64. The 64 you can see is quite a bit larger. So they have the two different options there, and each one comes with different carrying pouches. You know, it's got pouches for your phone or for your keys or whatever. You know, if you're going on hikes and you're just wearing a pair of shorts or something, you don't want to have everything in your shorts. This can also, you know, help you out while on a hike. So next up is an endoscope, and these can be fantastic whether you're working in the garage, shop, or around the house, or maybe you have some rifles or anything that you want to inspect the barrels on. These things can be fantastic. Now, when purchasing one of these and using it for barrel inspections, you want to make sure that you actually get one that's small enough for your caliber. So if you're inspecting like a 22, then you want to make sure that the camera is at least a 5.5 millimeter camera, because a lot of the other ones will be like 7.9 or 8 millimeter cameras, or, you know, around there, and those aren't going to fit down the bore, obviously. So just keep in mind which one you're looking for if you're getting this for that use. But even using it around the house, whether you're doing work in your walls and you need to see back there without ripping the wall apart, you could use one of these. Floor work, engine work, specifically automotive work, they can be fantastic. Like one time when I was installing my distributor and I dropped the nut down the distributor hole, somehow that happened, and I was able to use this and make sure that it wasn't sitting in the valley or, you know, somewhere where it was going to do some damage. It did fall down to my oil pan and I was able to snake it out through the drain hole, but this thing can definitely be very handy. There's many different brands and designs out there on Amazon. Depstech and Teslong, what you see here, are the two brands that I've used. Teslong is going to be the more expensive one. This has 4.4 stars at 3,433 ratings and is at $50 without the coupon. So here we're looking at the Echo Show 8. This is the 3rd gen, and I have the Echo Show 5 in the garage. I use it for keeping a calendar. It reminds me of things, not for just work for my business, but also work for my YouTube channel and anything that I need to do around the house. It's great to have those reminders. It also plays music. You know, you can watch Netflix, all that kind of stuff. I got my wife one for the kitchen because you can easily find recipes, watch videos on that recipe. They're very handy devices. I put off buying one for many years just because I thought they were just ridiculous and who needed those. But they can actually be pretty handy, especially with shopping lists. Like, all I do is tell it what I need for my shopping list, and then it simply comes up on my phone when I go to the grocery store. So this is the Show 8, so it's going to be a little bit bigger than the Show 5. This one is at $105, down from $150. You can also get the Gen 2 version of this, I believe, for $55, so that's a great price. And then they also have kids ones as well for, you know, $40 or so, and their parental restrictions and everything. They've actually done a pretty good job on these, and you can do a lot with them. I'm sure I could use mine for a lot more than I do, but I'm pretty simple. So this has 4.3 stars at 245 ratings. This one's fairly new, and I think for $105, it's a decent price. Next up is a camping fan, but I use mine a lot at work during the summertime. This is a rechargeable USB fan, and it lasts quite a while. I don't know, 8, 10, 12 hours. I don't really keep track because I use mine for, 3-4 hours a day, and I use it for multiple days until it dies. And I have 2 of them, and we also use them for camping, just moving some air around in the tent. And these can be great. I don't have to worry about running a cord for it or anything like that. No need to plug it in. You have a dial for fan speed. It's got built-in LED lights on it. It also has a timer, so you can, have it shut off after a certain amount of time. It also has a USB port, so you can charge your phone or tablet or whatnot through this. Obviously, that's going to take a toll on the battery. So whether you're fishing, camping, working, whatnot, this can be fantastic. This is at $40, down from a typical price of $46. Not the cheapest. There are some, little USB plug-in fans and things like that you can get for quite cheap, but for a USB rechargeable fan, I think it's a really good deal. It also has a hanging hook. You can adjust the angle of the fan and everything. It's got pretty decent air output. I'm not going to say it's like super strong like your normal house fan, but it moves some decent air. Next up is the most expensive item on the list today, and that being the F40C4 TMP portable 12-volt cooler. And I've had mine for 3 months now, and it's been fantastic. I did some tests on it, running it on my EcoFlow power station, and it works really well. It fits in the bed of my truck with my bed slide in there underneath my tonneau cover. It cools extremely fast. Just running it on my small EcoFlow, I can run this thing for just shy of 3 days. It's extremely quiet, it seals well, and some of these 12-volt coolers can get very, very expensive. So I needed one that was not necessarily huge, but this has plenty of room at 23 quarts. It has plenty of room for any 3 to 5 day camping trip or outing that we go on. Plenty of room, and it's not so expensive that it's going to break the bank. Shoot, there are normal coolers out there that cost more than this, a lot more than this. And so I think the convenience of not having to buy ice and then constantly drain the cooler and make sure it doesn't smell horrible if you forget to empty the cooler, these can just be fantastic and very easy to deal with. This has 4.5 stars at 1,757 ratings. This is at $260 right now, but you do have a 25% coupon, and they have many different sizes as well. Shoot, the 30 quart is even cheaper at $209. I was just showing you the one that I actually own. Same thing. This is just a little bit larger. Then here we've owned this for about 6 months now, and these things can be fantastic. These can also get very expensive if you get like the ones where you can actually haul your children and things in it. They can be upwards of $1,000. This is just a big wheeled off road wagon that you can take whether you're going camping or say you're going to the beach. These are nice because they have really wide tires on them. You're not going to be digging this thing down into the sand. It does a pretty decent job of staying up above the sand, as long as it's not super soft piled sand. It does a really good job. It's got a nice pole handle. It's very sturdy, plenty of little compartments and everything, and it collapses down really small. So handle up to 220 pounds, load capacity 330 pounds at rest, just under 22 inches tall, 13.8 inches by 9.5 inches. It's like the size of a backpack when it's all collapsed. It is at $120, down from a list price of $200. It's usually around the $130, I believe, but you do also have a $10 coupon on this, and don't worry, if it's ever at $130, give it a day or two, you'll find it on sale again. Here we're looking at a shelving unit. This is a 4-tier heavy-duty plastic storage shelving unit. I bought my buddy a couple of these for his eBay store. He stores all of his products on these, and it's been fantastic. I have some metal shelving and some plastic shelving, and granted, the plastic shelving is actually really nice because it's extremely light, easy to move if necessary, and still extremely durable. It has venting in the shelves just in case you have chemicals or something like that on there. And it's good for indoor, outdoor use. You don't have to worry about it rusting over time. There you can see the dimensions. It's 200-pound weight capacity per shelf at $100, down from a list price of $105. Not a huge savings there, but this is more about just getting a good product. And this has 4.4 stars at 7,390 ratings. Next, we're looking at some Edifier speakers. These are powered bookshelf speakers, and I've had mine since the beginning of 2023. And I absolutely love these. I had some smaller Bose computer speakers before, and these things are very high quality. They sound really nice compared to any of the other speakers. I was actually surprised when I compared these to my Bose speakers. These sounded much better. Granted, my Bose speakers were about 10 to 12 years old, but these are at $84, down from a list price of $120. And like I stated, they have many other ones, some much larger or more expensive speakers, and then they even have some with subwoofers and everything, but they can get quite expensive. I think this is a really good one, whether you just want a couple extra speakers for your TV, or if you want a good set of speakers for your computer. This is definitely a good option since they are bookshelf speakers, powered bookshelf speakers. You don't have to worry about buying an amplifier or anything like that. It is simply all-in-one unit, I should say. This has 4.6 stars at 18,797 ratings. Next up is the Drio Space Heater. There are many different brands and many different designs on Amazon. And like I said earlier, my garage is heated and cooled, but in the wintertime, as long as the heat's on in the house, it'll heat out here and it'll keep my garage between 60 and 65, just depending on what the temperature is outside and how often the heat is running in the house. And then in the summer it stays about 70 in here. So it's usually pretty comfortable, but I work out here every single day and it can get a little bit chilly near the floor. So my wife picked me up one of these. It was supposed to be a Christmas present. She gave it to me early, and I have it running right now. It's extremely quiet. It's not something that's going to heat my 2-car garage, 10 degrees, but I've had it on for 2 hours now, and it's up about 4 or 5 degrees since turning it on. Now, granted, my heat has also been running, but my furnace will usually only get the garage up to 65, and it is almost 68 degrees in here now. So it's doing a very good job, and my feet are nice and toasty. And that's what matters. I'm comfortable. It does rotate. It's got oscillation. It's 1500 watts, so you got 3 different heat settings, 1, 2, and 3. I think it's 900 watts, 1300 watts, and 1500 watts. And then you got an eco mode that you can actually set the temperature. It's got a 12-hour timer. It's got a child lock on it. It's got tip-over protection. So far, I'm very impressed. This one has a list price of $70. It's down to basically $60. And like I said, it's not going to heat a big room or anything like that. But if you're in a room that, maybe it's a little bit cooler, or your bedroom's a little bit cooler, you can set it next to you, and it does a pretty good job. Next up is the Logitech Master 3S wireless mouse. This is one that I got roughly a year ago. I bought mine at Best Buy, same price. If you can find it on sale, it's even fantastic. So maybe you got a kid, or you yourself, you're getting into gaming, or you use your computer a lot, this is fantastic for both. I use mine generally for just computer work, editing videos. I'm on my computer quite a bit every day, a couple hours at least, doing research or working or recording videos, and this mouse is by far my favorite that I've ever owned. While this isn't specifically for gaming, it's still a great gaming mouse if you want to use it that way, unless you're looking for something with a lot of customization, like buttons and stuff for specific layouts. Then you might want to go something a little bit different. But any general use work, this is a very, very comfortable mouse. It took me about a day or two to really get used to the shape of it, but it's very comfortable on the hand. It's very reactive no matter what surface you're using it on. The wheel has a magnet built into it, so it can either free spin and you can really scroll with this thing, or you can have it kind of locked so you can feel those kind of clicks in it. And all around, just a fantastic mouse. It is a little spendy for a mouse, but if you're looking for something that's good quality, I definitely recommend this one. 4.6 stars at 6,231 ratings. If you're looking for something more game related with a little bit of customization, but not a ridiculous amount of customization, the Logitech G502 is what I used to have. They have them in wired and wireless. If you're trying to save a little bit of money, go the wired route. I think they're around $40 instead. This has the 25K sensor, so a very high sensor, and it has 4.7 stars, 11,520 ratings. The mouse I showed you before was a fairly newer mouse, I'd say maybe a year old. Both of them are very impressive. Both of them have very good ratings and reviews. Now you can hear my heat kick on. So here we're looking at the Keurig K Elite single serve coffee maker, and I put off buying a Keurig for many years, and I thought they were just ridiculous. I was perfectly happy with my big old coffee pot until I realized it's really just me drinking coffee in my house, and there's no sense in me. I like coffee, but I'm not one that sits there and drinks 5 cups of coffee, and it's just kind of a lot of work to make just enough for 1 or 2 cups. So I bought one, and I was actually hooked. I was very happy. This is the one that I went with. I didn't get one of the extremely small units because this is one that my parents had, and they've had it for a couple years and really good results. I didn't want to get one that ended up to be a piece of junk. And I've had mine for 2 going on 3 years now, and it's been fantastic. I like it because it's got a reservoir big enough to where I have to refill it maybe once a week. I don't want to have to fill this thing every single time I want a cup of coffee, because that's something, some of them are built that way where you have to fill it after every time, and I don't want that. So if you're looking for something that, if my family comes over and 3 or 4 people want a cup of coffee, it can easily do that. All you do is switch out the K cup. but I still do have my big coffee maker just in case we need a big pot of coffee. But this thing's been fantastic over the last couple of years at 4.7 stars at 55,280 ratings at $119, down from a list price of $190. Don't ever buy it at $190. This is a good price for it. If you're looking for something a little bit smaller, something a little bit more compact, this is the other one that I was considering, and they have so many other different designs and sizes of these things. It's ridiculous. You can't keep track of all of them. I like this one because it is really compact, yet it still has a water capacity or water storage on it, so you're not constantly having to fill it. It holds 46 ounces of water, so you can still get multiple cups of coffee on this one tank before having to refill it. So I think this is another good option if you're looking for something a little bit more compact and maybe a little bit cheaper. This one's at $70, down from a list price of $130. Then here we're looking at a couple hand warmers, rechargeable. They run for up to 18 hours and they can reach up to 131 degrees. I work outside constantly, so I have a heat sleeve, one of those sleeves that you put your hands in, because I can't wear gloves at work. I need to be able to use my hands, and I can't do that with gloves on. So something like this is a great option if you know somebody or you yourself work outside in the cold weather. These can be really handy. You just throw them in your pockets. When your hands get cold, you just toss them in, you just hold on to them. And great little gift idea for anybody that you know that may work outside. This is at $30, down from a list price of $40, and there is a $5 coupon on that as well. Next up is a good little gift for anybody that may be into drinking whiskey. I myself love whiskey and bourbon, and I have a decent collection, and this is just something that is kind of a cool little gift idea for anybody out there that kind of just enjoys having a drink every once in a while. And they have many different designs and sizes. You can get them with the glasses or without the glasses. You can get it with 4 glasses. Here they have 4, or you can get it with just the globe, and it's got the ship on the inside. And then they have different designed ones as well. Here's one that you can set your glass under. This one I was just always afraid of because I would hate for it to just leak out if this thing ever starts leaking, and then you come down to your decanter empty and your bourbon all over the floor. But these are all just kind of nifty little decanters that I thought were pretty cool for gift ideas. $44, down from a list price of $90. 4.7 stars at 16,311 ratings. Next up is a remote control outlet. These are fantastic. Now, there are smart outlets out there if you run your house on Alexa or whatever it may be. But these can be fantastic, especially if you own a home like mine. Mine was built in the 70s, and they like to just not put lights in the rooms. It either has a ceiling fan and no light, or it has no light and the switch just controls one of the outlets in the room. Well, what if I don't want to put a lamp on that one outlet and I want to put the lamp in the other outlet? Then I have no way to control it. I have to physically go over and turn the lamp on in the dark and kick a bunch of stuff and step on some Legos. So these can be fantastic. You can put the remote right by the switch on the wall. That's what I did for our bedroom. Works fantastic. Or like in the garage, I have one right here on my work desk. I can turn on my shop lights. I can turn on my shop fan. I can turn on anything I want from my desk without physically going and turning them on. It's just be really handy. You just plug whatever you want into them. At 4.6 stars at 831 ratings. This is at $24, down from $27. And then this is a fantastic product. So I've owned a few Dremels in the past and been very disappointed with their products, especially their cordless ones. The batteries do not last, and I will never buy another Dremel brand product again. I bought this probably close to 8 years ago, and I spent $27 on it, and this is one of the only items in existence that has actually went down in price over the years instead of doubling in price over the years. So this is at under $19. This one does come with the Flex line. This is a rotary tool and multiple different attachments and things. The attachments and all those little nifty things, those not great. Go out, buy the Dremel brand accessories. Those I've had good experiences with. The tools themselves, though, no, not great. This Wen rotary tool, very, very basic, has outdone my expectations by far. I've used it probably 100 times over the last 8 years, and it has been fantastic. The power surprised me, and just getting a good cutting disc on this thing, you can do a lot with this little rotary tool. Now, yeah, you can go out and buy a more expensive, nice one that I'm sure you'd really enjoy, but if you're not looking at spending a whole lot of money, but you still want one, this one has lasted me almost 8 years with no issues. And if you want to save even more money, you can actually buy this without the flex shaft, and I want to say it's around $14. Don't quote me on that. I found it earlier and now I'm not going to find it. But like you can see, they have cordless ones. I'll never buy a rotary tool that's cordless again though. But they do have their deluxe version. I can't speak as far as these, but their extremely basic one at $19 has impressed me. I think the other ones would do so as well, but I've really enjoyed this rotary tool. It's got 4.4 stars at 22,299 ratings, and that is it as far as the holiday gift ideas. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I tried to include a little bit of everything, not just tools. If you guys have any good or bad experiences with these items, please let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. And hopefully this helped you find some last-minute gift ideas. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash that thumbs up. These items will be linked down in the description for you guys. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.